This remedy for just 3 months has been proven to lower proteinuria levels by 36.7%. This is the most effective way in the world to avoid dialysis. Catherine here. I've been helping people with kidney problems for 10 years now, and today we are going to focus on the most effective way in the world to avoid dialysis. In this video, we will see 5 very easy steps every single kidney disease patient should be taking to reduce proteinuria levels. Fact: if you have kidney problems and you want to avoid dialysis, the main lab value you should be concerned with is proteinuria levels. It's recent news that the clinical practice guideline for the treatment of kidney disease changed to include UACR, or proteinuria, as the main indicator of kidney health. This happened because proteinuria is the most reliable way to predict if a patient's kidney function is going to get worse, no matter the stage or the cause of CKD. This is why today I want to focus on ways to make sure this level always stays in the right range. This video is a top 5 of remedies, foods, and good habits every kidney disease patient should consider to lower proteinuria levels fast and avoid dialysis. Don't miss our number 1 in particular. That remedy is a proven way to lower your proteinuria levels significantly in just 3 months. Before that, let's start with some incredibly healthy foods. To keep proteinuria under control, eat more. Number 5. Foods. Turmeric. Turmeric is a superfood with an incredible list of health benefits. Research suggests curcumin helps with high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, osteoarthritis, gut health, atherosclerosis, and more. But the main benefit this superfood boasts is its anti-inflammatory property. Researchers believe this is the reason why turmeric can protect the kidneys from proteinuria. Another spice that should be a staple in your diet is ginger. I always recommend ginger as a way to fight inflammation in the body because taking care of inflammation means directly helping the kidneys. And ginger consumption is also associated with lower proteinuria levels. And also add to your diet spirulina. This green powder is actually considered the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. It has some incredible kidney protecting benefits. Eating this one regularly before going to sleep can help lower blood sugar levels, cholesterol, and even blood pressure. Research is also linking spirulina consumption to lowered proteinuria levels. Another superfood with amazing benefits: walnuts. This tasty snack is so rich in antioxidants that it may even help prevent heart disease and cancer. Also, there are studies confirming that diets enriched with walnuts led to lower cholesterol when compared with other diets. But the reason why walnuts can help with proteinuria is their content of a unique nutrient, omega-3 fatty acids. This brings us to our number 4 for today. Number 4. Omega-3 supplements. There is evidence that omega-3s can help with high blood pressure, one of the leading causes of CKD, and also cholesterol levels, triglycerides, inflammation, and more. And there are various review studies confirming that omega-3 supplementation may be extremely beneficial for kidney health. The reason is proteinuria. A large review of studies strongly links omega-3 supplementation to lowered proteinuria levels and thus significantly less risk of ESRD and dialysis. If you are not taking omega-3s yet, my recommendation is to look for a brand that contains at least 600 mg of combined EPA and DHA for 2 pill serving. EPA and DHA are the fatty acids present in omega-3, the active components of fish oil. The recommendation for healthy adults is a minimum of 250 to 500 mg combined EPA and DHA each day. This is the bare minimum everyone should be getting every day not to incur in symptoms of deficiency. We can also take a higher dose to have even more benefits. There are studies showing that taking around 1000 milligrams of omega-3s every day can treat heart disease and protect the kidneys from high blood pressure. And guys, there are some home remedies that can give you results even faster than omega-3s. We are going to see them in a moment. Before that, a very important question. Why is proteinuria so important for kidney health? While for patients without diagnosed kidney disease, seeing a foam in the urine means that their kidneys are actually being damaged, the best nephrologists actually use proteinuria levels to reliably predict if a CKD patient will have kidney failure in the near future. A mass screening involving more than 100,000 patients listed over 10 years identified proteinuria as the most important predictor for the risk of ending up in dialysis. Yes, this level here is even more important than GFR or creatinine when looking at your analysis. So next time you get tested for kidney function, pay special attention to your ACR and your proteinuria levels, no matter what stage of CKD you may be in. This usually indicated on your blood analysis as ACR, but you could also find albuminuria. This table here explains it pretty well. But guys, as always, I want to focus on the solution and not on the problem. Today, there is a very special herbal remedy I want to show you. In a study, this herbal remedy completely suppressed proteinuria in 14 patients. Let's take a look. Number 3 is Ganoderma lucidum or Rishi mushroom. Okay, this fungus really has something miraculous about it. It's widely used in many Asian countries for treatment of many diseases, including high blood pressure and diabetes. And most important, this fungus has a powerful effect in protecting the kidneys. According to recent research, Rishi has powerful effect on the outer membrane of the nephron, the filtering unit of the kidney. This is what a study on people suffering from proteinuria found out. Incredibly, all the participants of this study had significant improvement in kidney function after the treatment. They had no more proteinuria. And it's true that these results were observed on a small number of participants, but again, all the participants of the study had an improvement. Okay guys, what you should know about this remedy is that it also has many other benefits. Other than treating cancer and kidney problems, Rishi is also known to help with cholesterol, preventing heart disease, treating infections, especially those of the urinary tract, and to fight inflammation. Rishi mushrooms are sold as an extract and can be easily found on Amazon.com or in herbal shops. The dose in the study on proteinuria is 750 to 1100 milligrams per day of extract. Still, consult your doctor before taking this remedy if you have chronic kidney disease, hypertension, diabetes, or if you are taking medications. Almost time for our number 1. Before that, there are some steps that are a must when trying to lower proteinuria levels. Number 2. Treat proteinuria by treating CKD risk factors. Always keep your blood pressure under 130/80. To achieve this, many patients have to take blood pressure medications. Remember that not all medications will protect the kidneys from proteinuria with the same effectiveness. Beta blockers, for example, are not a good first-line medication for high blood pressure in those with proteinuria, and yet they are often prescribed. On the other hand, if you get your doctor to prescribe you angiotensin receptor blockers, or ARBs in short, this medication will actively protect your kidneys from proteinuria according to studies. Those with diabetes should aim for a HbA1c level below 6.5% to reduce microvascular complications. Using the appropriate medications combined with lifestyle and dietary changes is key to achieve this goal. Exercising is always encouraged, as it has been shown to help with all the risk factors for CKD. It can be also useful to supplement vitamin D if you aren't already taking it. Research has recently linked this vitamin to a significantly reduced severity of proteinuria among patients with CKD. Commonly recommended dosages in all the stages of CKD are between 600 IU and 1000 IU of vitamin D3. Also consider an antioxidant therapy. In a recent study, kidney disease patients taking the antioxidant in this beverage had a significant improvement in proteinuria. Okay, time to see our number 1 now. The incredible remedy that can save your kidneys from proteinuria is number 1, Cordyceps. This little fungus you see here is one of the most powerful remedies on earth when it comes to kidney health, according to science. In a review of 22 studies on Cordyceps, almost 1,000 CKD patients were found to have significantly lowered their creatinine levels, improved many other markers of kidney health including hemoglobin and serum albumin levels. And as we have seen, they reduced their proteinuria or ACR levels by more than a third in just 3 months. Now guys, what you should know about Cordyceps is that this is not your usual herbal remedy. This is a parasitic fungus that actually turns ants into zombies. Better get informed before taking this one. I've explained all you need to know about this lifesaver in my video up here. Today, we will see how to use an incredible little-known remedy to repair your kidneys. Now guys, as you may already know, I don't like recommending exotic supplements for kidney health. I've been working with people suffering from kidney disease for almost a decade now, and I know that safe and sound always beats experimenting with herbs. And yet, there is a reason why I firmly believe that you should get informed and eventually start using this powerful adaptogen if you suffer from kidney problems. You see, in China, where this remedy is born and still used today, they don't use dialysis as the only therapy for kidney failure. They use Cordyceps to prevent it. And well, it works! In China, doctors give this powerful remedy to patients in any stage of chronic kidney disease, stage 5 included, as a part of a combination of remedies called Shen Shui Ning that literally translated into kidney medicine. There are studies conducted with the Western scientific method to prove that the Chinese approach at treating kidney disease really works. In this study, stage 4 CKD patients lowered their creatinine levels by an incredible 18.3% in just 3 months of Cordyceps supplementation. And guys, the Chinese are not all crazy to be using this remedy to avoid dialysis. Science says it can actually lower creatinine levels pretty fast, with results showing up in blood works in just 3 weeks in most cases. This is because Cordyceps extract has very interesting properties in fighting inflammation, lowering cholesterol levels, and in reducing fatigue. It also contains a special type of sugar that can lower blood glucose levels in those with diabetes. For all these properties, it was actually tested several times in rigorous scientific settings. In a review of 22 studies on Cordyceps, almost 1,000 CKD patients were found to have significantly lowered their creatinine levels. Now, these patients were not on dialysis and were still following the prescribed therapies for kidney disease. So, these patients greatly reduced their creatinine levels, reduced proteinuria, and also hemoglobin and serum albumin levels. This basically means an all-around improvement in kidney health and kidney function. And guys, when we talk about CKD, we are talking about a chronic, progressive disease. So the numbers in the analysis like creatinine, GFR, proteinuria are supposed to become worse over the years. Cordyceps is a remedy that has actually shown the possibility of changing this and making the kidneys gain back their function over the years. And guys, today I also want to show you exactly how to use Cordyceps to improve your kidney health. The problem here is, it's not that easy to find a supplement containing real working Cordyceps extract. What you should know about this remedy is that even if this is considered an herbal remedy, this is not actually an herb. Cordyceps actually is a parasitic fungus. Yes, this is not your everyday fungus. It's pretty incredible how this thing reproduces in nature, to be honest. As we can see here, this fungus can actually turn ants into zombies, make them go out of their path, and then it uses them as husks. Yes, it's as frightening as a sci-fi movie, but it's real. And while almost all the supplements you find are cultivated on rye, rice, etc., so they don't actually come from ants of the Chinese forests, you should still be very careful with the brand you choose. Always find a brand that can certify the Cordyceps content of its product. Now, this supplement is pretty popular and there are several brands selling it, so you should be able to find it pretty easily. If you can't, there is a link down in the description with more details. Very important. What's the correct dosage and how should you take Cordyceps for kidney health? If you want to try Cordyceps or any other innovative remedy, be sure to talk to your doctor first. And also buy a high-quality Cordyceps supplement which can guarantee cordycepin and adenosine percentage. In one of the most complete studies on Cordyceps for CKD, researchers were able to isolate what components of the Cordyceps can treat kidney problems. The main thing you want to look for here is cordycepin. If the producer cannot certify cordycepin percentage, don't bother with it. The dosage commonly used in human research is 1,000 to 3,500 milligrams per day of extract. In several studies, patients took these dosages for years without significant side effects. Cordyceps extract is safe, but it may interact with immunosuppressants taken by people with a transplanted kidney. And guys, did you know that there is only one type of dietary fat in the world that's actually gonna help you repair your kidneys?
Today, I have huge positive news to share with you guys. A very large study was just published and it made it very clear that every single CRS sufferer who wants to lower their creatinine levels will benefit from a bigger intake of one essential nutrient. Yeah, just one! And today we will also see exactly how you can start increasing the intake of this nutrient right now. Now, this study was published the 18th of January and it's a pooled analysis of 19 cohorts. Decades of data from 25,570 participants in 12 different countries was examined by these researchers and they came to a rock-solid conclusion, which means, in short, that it is a very, very significant and very recent piece of information that we can all benefit from. Because, you know, usually science is never very conclusive when it comes to nutrition, especially when it involves people with chronic conditions. But this is not the case. This very large meta-analysis reached one very significant conclusion. And that conclusion is going to be able to seriously help you lower your creatinine levels. So, we know now that this nutrient can significantly delay CRF progression, can reduce your chances of ending up needing RRT, can lower your creatinine levels, and can also lower your proteinuria levels.
I think you're gonna like it.
Guys, this is not something you read very often, even when you read as much scientific literature as I do. This one nutrient lowered both proteinuria, one of the main indicators of kidney function, and slowed down the progression to ESRF. These results are incredibly significant because they were observed in a very large number of participants. So you may understand why I'm telling you that you really want to benefit from this one nutrient if you are serious about avoiding ESRF as long as possible. It's also worth mentioning that a deficiency in this nutrient causes fatigue, poor memory, dry skin, cardiovascular problems, mood swings, and poor circulation. Now, this is a bit scary, but bear with me. Most people with CRF cannot get enough of this one in the diet, according to this new research, and they must supplement this nutrient. This is because this is one of those nutrients that are only present in animal-based foods. So yeah, That's an unforeseen consequence of following the right diet that we absolutely want to avoid. In short, very large research uncovered a single nutrient with huge benefits for those with renal issues. Unfortunately, most people cannot get enough of it in their daily intake of foods. What is the nutrient that can help you? The nutrient I'm talking about is what researchers called N3 PUFAs, and that we all know as omega-3 fatty acids. Yes, omega-3s are one of the most important nutrients in the world when it comes to protecting yourself from the dangers of CRF. And according to this new pooled analysis, there is no way you can get the right omega-3s from your diet alone. And well, that came as a bit of a surprise for me, so we will see a little more in depth what that means and how is that going to change the way we eat. Also very important, there is a risk connected to the use of certain fish oil supplements, so we will also be taking a look at that. But before we dive in, a very important question. What changed about omega-3's fatty acids? Now, the fact that omega-3s can help is nothing new, really. What's new is the effectiveness of this supplement. I've always believed that taking omega-3s was extremely helpful for those with CRF, but what these researchers found out still surprised me. They examined 25,570 participants for more than a decade. Of them, 4,944 developed CRF during the study period. Please notice that this is a huge number of participants. Huge! And researchers divided this huge number of participants into two groups. First group was getting higher levels of omega-3s. Second group was getting a lot less omega-3s. Now the amazing part. The group with higher omega-3s intake had a whopping 13% lower risk of developing CRF during the 13 years of the study. So yeah, as I was saying, it's a rock solid conclusion and of huge importance for us. But wait, there is more. They also measured the decline in GFR in those higher levels of omega-3s compared to those not getting enough. The difference was even more significant as people having enough omega-3s in their diet had a 15% lower risk of a decline of 40% or more in GFR. So yeah, supplementing omega-3s may really make a huge difference in avoiding ESRF. One explanation of this incredible result may be the effects omega-3s have on proteinuria. A previous study linked the supplementation of this essential nutrient to a significantly reduced risk of progression to ESRD and a lowered risk of proteinuria. In short, a higher intake of omega-3s is now linked to a 30% lower chance of developing CRF and a 15% lower chance of it progressing fast. Now guys, there is not gonna be a huge change in the way you eat after this study, especially if you have been following me regularly and you are already taking omega-3s. But some of the things we used to believe are now proven, and that's good. But before this study, it was recommended to supplement omega-3s, and now it's very strongly recommended, I guess. Yeah, you should definitely supplement omega-3s. More about how to do that from a practical point of view in a moment. Before that, very important. Researchers also pointed out that these benefits in terms of slow down progression of CRF are only going to happen when someone is getting their omega-3s from fish, not from veggies, unfortunately. Now, if you don't currently have CRF and you want to avoid that, which is a very smart move, by the way, eat more salmon, anchovies, herring, mackerel, and sardines. These fishes are basically the only sources of EPA and DHA, the most helpful and effective types of omega-3s. People with CRF may want to avoid these fishes, however, because they are too high in protein. I used to recommend as an alternative eating plant-based foods such as flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, because they are rich in another source of omega-3s, ALA or alpha-linolenic acid. Now, this new research didn't link a higher intake of ALA to better outcomes in terms of CRF progression and creatinine levels. The reason: ALA is the precursor to EPA and DHA, meaning that the body must convert ALA into EPA or DHA before it can use it. However, this conversion process is inefficient in humans. Only a small percentage of ALA is converted into EPA and even less into DHA. Researchers believe that DHA is the most helpful type of omega-3s, by the way. Now, don't get me wrong, foods rich in ALA are very good for you and there is no reason to avoid them, but you still want to supplement EPA and DHA. This is why I recommend supplementing omega-3s from a reputable source. Very important, don't take omega-3s without watching this part. Not all omega-3 supplements are created equal. Lately, several supplement brands have been caught purposely making misleading labels to make their supplements look better than what they actually are. When it comes to omega-3 supplements, this may be extremely dangerous for someone with CRF. This is an example. Looking at this label, you may think you're buying an expensive omega-3 fish oil supplement. What you will be actually buying instead is cod liver oil. And that's bad! Now, while cod liver oil is usually safe for the general population, someone with CRF should completely avoid it. You see, fish liver oil contains large amounts of vitamin A, something you should never supplement. It can accumulate and cause problems. Just 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of cod liver oil contains up to 270% of your daily needs for this dangerous nutrient in one serving. Very dangerous. Never take fish liver oil. In short, double check anything you may be already taking and always avoid supplements containing cod liver oil and also halibut liver oil. Omega-3 supplements coming from fish oil only are safe. However, and guys, there's a brand that I recommend because it's perfectly safe and it's down in the description if you want to try it. It's specifically made with the need of people with CRF in mind. Now question, how much omega-3s should you take to get the benefits? If you are not taking omega-3s yet, my advice is to start with the lowest amount you see here. See how it makes you feel. Chances are this quantity will already make a big difference. Some people also take a higher amount to have some specific benefits. There are studies showing that taking around 1000 milligrams of omega-3s every day can help with the heart and protect from HVP. But never take 1000 milligrams or more without consulting with a nephrologist. Now, omega-3s are still considered safe and have additional benefits at higher amounts, as you can see here. These dosages can be used to lower cholesterol levels and to treat patients with CRF in the advanced stages caused by IgA nephropathy. Remember that we are talking about EPA and DHA combined here, not fish oil. Another study found out that even those suffering from pruritus caused by CRF can benefit from supplementing omega-3s, which is frankly amazing. And there are just a few things that have benefits as impressive as those of omega-3s. So if you want to see what can really help, my video up here is for you. Gathering here, for the last decade, I've been helping people overcome one of the most underestimated yet dangerous conditions of our times. And while most nephrologists will tell you that there is nothing you can do to stop the decline of GFR once you reach a certain age, I'm convinced otherwise. And in my experience, there is one strategy that always works despite the cause of the problem. It's taking care of toxins before they can do damage. You see, the filtering organs of the body that we are trying to protect are in contact with a huge amount of scores every day. Problem is, the more GFR declines, the more these scores accumulate, causing more and more damage. In my career, I've extensively studied the ways to get rid of these scores before they get in the system. The methods I'm going to show you in today's video are proven to work. Science is pretty conclusive about that. Now, most of the scores that cause real damage goes through the intestine before getting to the nephrons inside the filters of the body. This is exactly where we're going to stop them, because that's how you can delay and even avoid being tied to the big D machine. That's how you avoid RRT. According to science, there are 5 ways to do exactly that. And I've ranked in a top 5 based on how much studies there are and how effective these methods have been proven to be. Let's see what they are now. Number 5 is Chitosan. Chitosan is interesting for us because studies have shown that it can significantly decrease creatinine levels in people with ESRF. Now, Chitosan was tested on 80 people all undergoing RRT, and after a month, those taking Chitosan had a huge drop in creatinine levels, 13% as we can see here. This is an incredible result. So now you may ask, what is Chitosan and why is it so powerful? Chitosan is a polymer found in the exoskeleton of shrimp, lobster, and other crustaceans. It's used for its antioxidant and hypoglycemic properties, all of which can be used to aid in body weight reduction. Yes, that's the main reason why this product is commercialized, and it's worth noticing that these properties are also useful in the presence of a high-fat diet and other lifestyle habits linked to decreases in GFR. But Chitosan is not just a fat absorber. As we have seen, it can also absorb uremic toxins, and that's way more interesting for us. You see, in the study I mentioned, the reason why people already undergoing RRT were giving Chitosan was not to shed body fat. They didn't need to. It's because despite being on RRT, they were still experiencing some discomforts related to excess uremia in the body. But after taking Chitosan, they were able to sleep better, to have more physical strength, and better appetite. Another positive effect documented in this study was a significant increase in the serum hemoglobin level. This means that anemia, which is a serious issue for those in stage 5 of CRF, was now under control. After this, CRF was extensively tested for its properties. Chitosan should be taken 30 to 60 minutes before eating, allowing it to become activated so that it can absorb the fat and or scores from the meal. And today, we know that taking 3 to 6 grams per day is perfectly safe. Also, according to a preliminary study in rats, taking vitamin C along with Chitosan might provide additional benefit in lowering cholesterol. But to achieve a reduction in creatinine levels of 13%, test subjects in the study only had to take 450 milligrams of Chitosan 3 times a day before meals for 4 weeks. But why is Chitosan so powerful in reducing creatinine levels? It works so incredibly well in reducing creatinine levels because it binds to uremic toxins in the intestines. You see, these kind of scores should never be left in the body. When the filtering organs are working properly, they are able to get rid of all these scores. In fact, one of the main indicators of GFR decline is the increased presence of a certain score called creatinine. Creatinine and urea are the 2 main uremic toxins, and removing them before they can do damage means directly improving GFR. This is why finding ways to remove these scores naturally, like Chitosan does, is the most effective strategy in delaying and in some cases completely avoiding the big D machine. Now you may ask, if Chitosan is so powerful, why is it only our number 5? Well, because there are 4 safer and more effective ways to achieve the same result. And also because Chitosan was mainly used to alleviate the discomfort in those undergoing RRT. But on the other hand, some of the supplements we are going to see today were actually used to prevent people from reaching ESRD. Okay guys, time for our next entry. This is a powerful way of removing extra scores from the body. So powerful, it was used to keep 5 people with ESRD away from the big D machine for up to 10 months. This is number 4, Lactulose. Okay guys, let's talk about this study for a moment and see why it's interesting for us. This research was done on 5 people with ESRD. They all needed some form of RRT and some were waiting for a transplant. But none of them wanted or was in the condition of start the big D machine. So researchers came up with a solution to get rid of all the scores that are reason why people need RRT. Just like it happened with Chitosan, all the focus here was on getting rid of nitrogenous waste, aka creatinine, urea, and so on, before it gets in the system, which means in the gut. Now, the way lactulose works is different from Chitosan and some of the other supplements of today's video though. This is not a detoxifier per se. Lactulose is used to improve the amount of probiotics in the gastrointestinal tract, and this is a proven way to get rid of creatinine and other dangerous waste according to science. In fact, some studies found out that increasing the growth and ability of certain probiotics already present in the human body, usually bifidobacteria and lactobacilli, may play a very significant role in lowering creatinine levels in all the stages. Lactulose in particular is a synthetic sugar used to treat constipation. It is broken down in the body into products that remove uremic scores. This may result in a huge drop in creatinine levels. And while this is really helpful, it's worth noting that lactulose is not freely available in most countries. Now, a better way of helping gut flora without having to rely on behind-the-counter laxatives is number 3, Psyllium husk. Now, this is one of my favorite supplements and it's really great in my opinion. It doesn't come with many of the possible sides of the other entries of today's video, and it has many of their benefits. This is because several studies conducted on people with CRF have shown that getting more dietary fiber either from fruit and vegetables, from fortified foods, or from supplements can seriously improve GFR in all the stages. As we can see in this study, just by adding more fiber, those in stage 3, 4, and 5 were able to see their creatinine levels drop by 7.5% on average after just 2 weeks. In this study, test subjects' GFR was 29.6 on average before the start, and after 4 weeks of fiber intervention, it was 32.5, and all that it took was adding fiber in various ways, including supplements. What they did here was just adding 23 grams of fiber for 4 weeks. So, consider adding more fiber to your regimen if you are not getting enough already. But please keep in mind that 23 grams per day of extra fiber are a lot. For example, one small apple peeled only contains less than 2 grams of fiber, and this is why Psyllium husk is a great way to improve your GFR and lower your creatinine levels. Psyllium husk is a source of soluble fiber, the most precious form of dietary fiber, and with it, you will not need to eat tons of fruit and veggies to get your recommended daily fiber intake. So until now, we have seen 2 great ways to lower creatinine levels in those with advanced stage CRF, Chitosan and lactulose, that also come with some possible sides. Now, Psyllium, on the other hand, works best as a way to prevent the decline of GFR in people with earlier stages CRF. This is because Psyllium needs a lot of water to do its job, but it can also be taken by those in stage 4 and 5 if they can fit the extra water in their water allowance, which is not always the case, unfortunately. And this is the reason why it's only number 3 in today's top 5. But don't get me wrong, it can really help. Now we are going to see some methods that work in all the stages and that have also been used in some studies to completely replace the Big D machine. All the supplements we have seen until now have been used with some success to slow down the decline of GFR and lower creatinine levels. Our number 2, on the other hand, reached a goal that is often considered impossible, still today. Number 2 is activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is really interesting for us for 2 reasons. First, it was used in at least 2 different studies to get people out of their dependency for the Big D machine. And also, it can protect people with CRF in any stage from the dangers of excess phosphorus. Question: what is activated charcoal and why is it so powerful? If you have never used it, activated charcoal, or AC in short, is used by many people for its benefits. It works because 1 teaspoonful of AC has more surface area than a football field. This makes it extremely absorbent
And once ingested, it acts like a powerful scrub for your body. It binds to all sorts of scores in the intestines, reducing the wear and tear on the nephrons. Researchers believe that activated charcoal is especially effective at removing scores derived from urea, urine toxins, creatine, and phosphorus. This is why it can be used to completely stop RRT in people with stage 5 ESRD. In this study in particular, 5 test subjects were followed for at least 6 months and up to 10 months after stopping RRT. The protocol used, which consisted in activated charcoal, lactulose, and a third step that we will see in a moment, was able to keep all the test subjects in good conditions, despite they needed RRT, and they didn't receive it. They, however, received a large amount of activated charcoal during the study, 30 to 45 grams a day, plus lactulose. Now, a different study involving 9 test subjects this time saw an even more remarkable result. This trial was conducted on 9 test subjects with a mean age of 84 years who refused to start a Big D machine. All of them were in stage 5. Thanks to activated charcoal plus a specially crafted way of eating, they were able to avoid RRT for several months, some of them for years. Another benefit of activated charcoal. Now, it's also worth mentioning that people with CRF in stage 3 and 4 may use activated charcoal to lower their phosphorus levels. This is what a study published in the Journal of Nephrology found out. In this study conducted in Japan, small doses of activated charcoal, 0.6 to 1.2 grams, were administered 3 times a day at meals. People were found to be way less likely to develop high phosphorus levels and, even more important, vascular calcification. Time now for our number 1 for today. Now guys, all the studies involving the suspension of RRT in those who needed it involved not just a score absorber such as lactulose or activated charcoal, but also a way to ingest way less toxins. This special way of eating is our number 1 for today because it's a must in all the stages of CRF. Before we see it, a special mention for a supplement that I've not included in this top 5. Acacia fiber. Acacia fiber works in a similar way to activated charcoal. Just like activated charcoal, it was used in 9 people who needed RRT, but they didn't receive it. They were only given acacia fiber, and that lowered their creatinine levels so efficiently that some of them were able to go on for years without any form of RRT. Time to see the number 1. This is one of the most effective forms of conservative management for ESRD, but it's also proven to slow down GFR decline in all the stages. This dietary approach could literally delay RRT initiation by 10 years or more if implemented correctly. I'm talking about number 1, VLPD. The VLPD, or very low protein diet, is a special way of eating for people with CRF. It is mostly used for treating the advanced stages, but can be beneficial for every single CRF sufferer. The VLPD was a very important part of the method used in the stage 5 CKD patients that were able to go on for years without RRT thanks to activated charcoal. It was also used in the study involving lactulose and in the studies involving acacia fiber. So it looks like this is a crucial step to protect the precious filtering system of the body. Now, the biggest advantage of the VLPD treatment compared to the other treatments of this video is that it has been used on thousands of people with CRF. And it's proven that it works both as a way of slowing down the decline of GFR in people in stage 4 and as a complementary therapy in stage 5. And this way of eating really works, and today the VLPD is very common in Europe, so there is enough data today to be 100% sure that it works. I've made a full video about it recently. It's up here if you want to know more. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless.